Hello everyone, so today I'm going to open up a lot of Hot Wheels main lines. A lot of them I've opened up already, but I'm still going to just show you what I have. There's going to be 21 cars in total because those are the ones that I'm going to be using for the Target mail-in. Target mail-in is pretty much the only one I can do. Don't got no Walmarts around here, don't have any Kroger's. Do Kroger's do mail-ins? I don't think so actually. Maybe they do. Yeah, I think they do, right? Definitely don't have Dollar Generals. There's a dollar. Well, honestly, I don't even remember. But anyway, the other one I can do is Kmart, but I don't think the Kmart one is out yet. So yeah, and I'm doing this for the VW Volkswagen Types 3, the Fastback that's been done into kind of a drag race car, which is a pretty cool thing. And yeah, I'm just gonna get into it. So I'm just gonna start from the fantasy models first. This is from the Street B series, the Duck and Roll, or like to call it the Quackmobile. It's a really cool one. It's pretty cute. The body is plastic as opposed to the vast majority of Hot Wheels cars, but in this case, it actually makes sense, right? Because the actual rubber ducks are more, rubber. It's closer to plastic than metal. It's got a nice metal base. It's pretty nice. And I noticed someone saying on Reddit, you can actually see the in addition to wheels, it's got propellers, and the exhaust pipes are pointing up so it doesn't get wet, which is a really nice touch. Next up is a car that needs no introduction. This is the great. He needs no introduction. I can't even remember the name. Bone Shaker, and this is my fourth Bone Shaker. It's a nice matte red color. These I'm not gonna spend too much time on the fantasy models. They're cool, but whatever. Not gonna be the majority of my collection. It's the hardtop version, the coupe, which is pretty cool. Yeah, not much to say. It has printed on two sides. Bone Shaker, the skull. Yeah, nice one to have. Obviously, I'm not gonna collect every single one of the Bone Shakers. That's gonna just take the rest of my life and all of my life savings. But if I can find a variation, don't have for $1, why not? The next one is another fantasy model, and this one is a one. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of this car. I mean, I like the concept of it, but the execution is just not great. This is the Alinder Roadster, named after the designer Lindsay Lee, who also did the RV there yet. As well as a lot of actual licensed cars. I don't like this because these giant chrome pieces, which almost never work out. There's always going to be a huge ton of scratches, and it's just overall just too plasticky. Which is for these X-racers, obviously the body is always going to be plastic for being X-ray-ish. The transparent and all that, but the metal bases are just so tiny, it's just so light. It just doesn't feel like it's got any weight to it. But I like it because I'm a fan of Hot Wheels putting their designers front and center, and having a car named after a designer is pretty cool. I like this one. And when the Erikenstein, I have no idea. It was either German or Yiddish names. When they translated it to English, I have no idea. It's basically a crapshoot of which pronunciation they're gonna go with. But that one I'm definitely gonna get. Some other ones like the Ollie Rocket, the Danica, all really cool ones. Just as far as fantasy models goes, I think I like the ones that have a bit of a story behind them, or just naming it after a design. I think it's pretty cool. I don't really love it when they're on licensed models, or worse in my opinion, premium models. But these ones are pretty cool. Another here, go for this one. This is another one that's got a lot of association with the designer or individual persons. This is the wheelie chair. And I forgot the name of the person, Aaron something. But it's a really cool wheelchair, and I do collect Lego minifigures, so these ride-on ones are going to be useful for something down the road. And this one scales pretty well with Lego minifigures, so this is pretty cool. And again, it just has a nice backstory behind it. And you can see it's very back heavy, and it basically has a wheelie bar, so it's just really nice for stunts and stuff. It's a cool little thing. Most of these fantasy models are not going to be the front and center of my collection. If one day I need to purge my collection, they're probably going to be the first to go. But these are the ones I do like to keep around because they're pretty fun. And this is Highway Hauler. no, heavy hitcher. So this is a yeah, hitcher. It's got the hook. The hook itself doesn't move, nor does this part of the arm, but the whole thing itself moves, and it's got a metal base, plastic body, chromed. Again, with those like big pieces of chrome, it's never the nicest thing, but you can see it does haul. It does you can hitch up a car, which is pretty nice. Yeah, pretty sweet. You know, it's an unlicensed model. It's a fantasy model, but it's realistic enough to be used. Unfortunately, it is chrome, so you're going to see scratches, and obviously will look less realistic than some of the other more realistic colors, which is just tautology, isn't it? Next up is it's a fantasy model, but it's based on a Malaysian, I want to say. The Jeepney are based on Jeeps, as you would expect from the name, as well as look at the front grille. Definitely resembles a Jeep, and these ones are really pretty much iconic, I guess you can say. Basically public transit buses based on leftover American Jeeps from World War II, been converted and elongated into this bus, and they almost always sport these very, very colorful decals, kind of graffiti like. It's just really cool thing, and as a history major, it's hard to pass by anything that reminds you of history, right? Whether it be like World War II history or post-colonial history, is a very interesting thing to have. Problem with it, again, is just a big piece of chrome. That's gonna be easy to scratch up and wouldn't look that good, but this piece isn't too bad. And the one I got actually has a bit of an error. You can see it's hard to tell between like errors or just like defects, and I'll say this is closer to a defect than an error. But yeah, you can see got a missing quite a bit from the side of the car over here. That's it for all of the unlicensed models, and the next one I have is licensed, but it's pretty tuned up, and this is some kind of Impala, the '64 Chevy Impala, the tuned version of the car. It's a nice thing. I do like my Impala, so this is obviously not going to be my first choice. This is one of the ones that probably going to be the first to get purged when I need to do a purge. The decal is pretty nice. No headlight details, no backlight details. I mean, you do see like the chromed parts of it, so it is kind of like a color / texture change, but nah, this is definitely not like the most interesting Hot Wheels Impala they've ever done, and being tuned, and at least for my personal taste, it's not like the greatest thing. For a lot of these cars that are already open, I got it a little bit earlier, and I think later on was more like I'm only getting cars that I would be purchasing otherwise. I'm just gonna be excuse me, just like in this case, I'm getting like 21 cars that I actually want, and I'm basically gonna be paying like $5 for the actual car itself. If I pick up like 21 models I don't care about, it just feels like paying like what, $30 for one car, which is something I'm not super fond of. Obviously the best way to do will probably be like betting on getting like 2 10-packs and get another mainline, but similarly, that's just gonna be like 2/3 of it are of 20 cars I would have zero interest in, and I don't think it makes sense that way, because there's like a ton of mainline auto cars I would have bought for $1 anyway. Next one is another licensed car that is very, very different. Yeah, sure, let's go this way. This is the Jeep. Which Jeep is it specifically? The 1942 Willys MB. And this one, you can obviously, it's not a very stock Jeep. This is a cool thing. Excuse me, it's not going to go into like my main collection, but it's something I wouldn't want to like purge immediately. That's just unlicensed. I mean, not unlicensed, like this is not based on any specific drag racing Jeep as far as I know, but like there's been a lot of drag racing Jeeps that look very similar to it, so it's a nice thing to have, I think. The decal is pretty nice. There's no front headlight details, which is unfortunate, because I already get 3 sides. You see the Goodyears here, so it's 3-sided decal, so this is normal as far as I was concerned. The roll cage is really nice, very sharp, very defined. I like that. The blown engine is pretty nice as well. Yeah, so it's not going to be like my favorite thing ever, but it's in my collection. And these are pretty much the ones that I got earlier than anything else, and I've already opened. There's going to be a few other ones I've opened already as well, but those are the ones I'm much more likely to keep. This one is actually not going to get opened at all, or at least anytime soon. This is the Iron Motors Threshers from the Fast and Furious Spy Racers. I haven't even seen the Fast and Furious movie, so I haven't seen this cartoon either. It's on Netflix. I have Netflix, but I don't really care. Just gonna want to watch Scott Pilgrim versus the Universe Scott Pilgrim versus the World over and over and over again because I fucking love that movie. Or I don't know, just rewatch Community for the 50th time, which is a bit of an exaggeration, but not by much. This is a cool car, you know, like a nice muscle car look. There's a couple of chase cars I got from online, like Super Treasure Hunts and such, so those are the ones already opened up, so these ones, and I don't really need to have them opened up, so I did not. Let's see, what else do I have? This is one of the more recent one that I've opened. This is the custom Ford Maverick, a nice looking car. Got the hints of side mirrors right here. It's pretty nice. Doesn't have the headlight details, but the headlights are small, and for smaller headlights, it's not going to be as weird looking as the ones with like very pronounced, very big headlights. And flames are whatever. I'm not the biggest fan of it. The matte black paint is nice. The rims are pretty basic, standard Hot Wheels rims, whatever. No back details, but you can probably expect that. Next up is another car in flames, and this is the it doesn't say. This is one of the Nova wagons. Not the Gasser variation, which I have one, but that one is probably going to get purchased. Well, flames pretty nice. I had one of those already, the art cars variation, and I'm probably going to keep the art car variation if I have to purchase one of them. But this is a nice color. Flames are nice. It's not slammed. It doesn't have like an awful rake to it. So yeah, so pretty standard. And I think if I eventually want to purge, I might just like get rid of the flames and try to decorate it myself. We'll see how that goes. Here's a classic American race car. This is a Hudson Hornet, a gray one. I do have the multi-pack variation in black, but I don't exactly know where it is right now. I think it might be one of them, like, excuse me, 55,000 boxes. We'll see. Hot Wheels Rod Squad, like, yeah, in these cases, I'm not the biggest fan of like Hot Wheels logo or like, you know, their own references all over the place. I feel like if we just get rid of this, like just the A17 and Hudson Hornet will be much better looking. But I mean, $1 cars are not going to be like on a display case anyway. No headlights, which is yeah, this is the case where like the size of the car probably would have benefited a lot from headlight painting. Backlights doesn't have it, but because it's chrome, it's not too big of a deal. Next up is the first one I'm actually going to open up, and this is the 2010 Chevy Impala. And in these ones, because you know, like 3 seconds ago I was talking about the Hudson Hornet, I don't like Hot Wheels being on it because, you know, it's kind of like trying to replicate a classic actual race car and just having Hot Wheels logo there is a bit weird. But in this case, like, just it's the Hot Wheels race team itself being all over like in blue with the Hot Wheels logo. It feels pretty nice. Similar to some of the other ones I've said, it's not going to be like in like my main collection, but it's nice to have. And I do like my Impalas. Not the biggest fan of the newer Impalas, but the stock car variation is pretty cool. It was 2010, by the way. And this one was originally released as the Danica Patrick NASCAR stock car, which is pretty cool. And that car in real life, why they chose it, because it's actually sponsored by Hot Wheels. But it's really weird. But because if you look up like Danica Patrick and her Impala, you do see it has like the Hot Wheels logo and everything, but it's very, very different from the one Hot Wheels released as their first one. Like the front of it on the real car is all white, and so like the number 7 I'm talking about, not this one, that's a different one. The one Danica Patrick had like a full white front, but the one Hot Wheels does is like full blue front. I would assume to save costs, it's on paint and stuff, but like, come on, man, like this is your own sponsorship. How can you mess it up so much? But this is not a replicating any actual stock car. This is Hot Wheels' own livery. So like in these cases, I feel like being a little bit self-indulgent. I have nothing against it. And some sponsorships, BF Goodrich obviously is a real company. You see coils, this is Julian coils. I'm not really sure if Jason, but I've seen it quite a lot as well. Some other stuff as well. 3-sided deco. This one without front headlights make me like, I feel like just it doesn't really quite work. It's negative space is way too much for it to be passable, which is unfortunate. So that's one of the backing cards that's going to be in my envelope. Next up, we're getting into excuse me. I think I'm pretty much done with American cars. Next up is a Japanese one. This is the the RX-7, the Mazda, which is a really cool car. Not my biggest, not my favorite look at the front, but like the RX-7 in general, the whole series look very, very, very cool. Rotary engine, nice variation of that. I would prefer a cleaner version, but this is fine as well. It says pop-up highlights. It not having headlight details is fine. The other this bit could use it, but because they're so small, it doesn't really detract from overall. It's a bit much deco, too much deco for my taste. I would rather have like completely clean with like back details. I think will benefit from that. But it's a nice car overall. I do have the green variation as well. There's still a couple of these ones sitting in my local Target. None of them are the super treasure hunts, but it's a cool car. The gray wheels are an interesting choice. Don't know if I like it or not. I already have Atomic Limited Vintage RX-7, so I don't really bother. I don't really care too much about these mainlands one, but it's a cool one, and I would like to have it. Next up is a Nissan. This is the Nissan Gtr, which as far as Hot Wheels goes is a pretty nice $1 car. It's got the full deco treatment. The headlights are actually lensed, although it's part of the windshield. You can actually just press it in, which feels a bit weird. Got the front, so as a result, it's never not going to have the front lights, which is nice. The back lights are actually painted in. Pretty sweet. 50th anniversary. It's got the stripes on top. Pretty nice. The front grille as well. Like, size wise, it's pretty similar. It's pretty much 1/64, but if you compare it to like a Greenland, which is better proportions, you'll see like the front is a little bit kind of like enlarged. The grille is the shape of the grille is not perfect. It's not right either. I mean, so it's a cool $1 car. Obviously, Greenlight are going to be a lot more expensive than $1. So, but yeah, as far as mainland Hot Wheels goes, this is probably one of the best ones. The one I got, although has a bit of a molding issue. You can see, might not be too easy to see, but like, there's like extra metal pieces. Yeah, you might be able to see inside here. Like the molding is not super clean, which is a bit of a shame. But again, it's a $1 car. I'm cool with that. Ooh, this one you need to give me 1 second because this is another one of the ones I'm not going to bother opening. I knew I had a supercharger Hunter when I was getting it, and I know this is one of the more popular models, so I decided to just keep this one sealed, so I can use it for trades and whatnot. And I do have one of those ones opened already. If you will just give me 1 moment, I need to sort through where that is. Japanese cars, right? Not here. Oh, somewhere right in front of me. And here we go, the Subaru Impreza 22B STI version. STI version. That's not the version of a car I will want to get, but cool. Yeah, great one. I feel like not as good looking as the blue variation, but the red one is pretty cool as well. Yeah, full details, head and back, and this is from the HW Turbo line. Gold rims, very fitting for this car. Very good casting, very good new casting for 2020. Yeah, but this one specifically is gonna stay sealed. The last of the ones I'm gonna keep sealed actually, because next up, everything starting from here will be open. Oh, one more car I forgot to mention. Well, it's not a car, it's a motorcycle. Honda Monkey Z50. It's a cool looking car. This is not the treasure hunt version from last year. This is the new one. Tiny little thing. It's interesting to look at the construction and the 2-piece base, metal base, or base / body pretty much. The handlebar I would assume is the same piece as the seat. Yeah, it's overall pretty cool car. Motorbike. The handlebars are pretty soft, so it's harder to break. Cool looking thing. I do like those Hot Wheels motorcycles. I have a Dodge Tomahawk. I have a one of the BMW ones. I would like to get a couple of Ducatis and stuff, but we'll see if they're gonna release one next year or something. Next up, the last Japanese cars is a Datsun 620. Not the biggest JDM fanboy, but this is actually the JDM L, right? JDM Legends shop truck, which is based on a real vehicle, so that's pretty cool. I currently only have one other Datsun 620 from the Hot Trucks 5-pack, which is a nice, it's a pretty good looking pearl white color, but this one is, I think, more interesting. This is matte red color, and obviously being based on a real car, I mean like real deco, I think this definitely takes the cake. If I need to purge one of my Datsun 620s, the other one will be the one to go, and this will be the one that remains. And another new car, this is the 2019 Kia Stinger GT, which is really cool. The first Kia Hot Wheels has ever done. And similarly to the Jeepney or the Road Bandit, I do like it. I do appreciate it when Hot Wheels does like Asian car culture that isn't just Japanese cars. Don't get me wrong, I like a lot of Japanese cars, but Asia is a lot bigger than Japan, and just like, I mean, in general, just like just more companies and more countries and more continents represented is always better. And this is the first Kia. I know Hot Wheels has done a few Hyundais in the past, but speaking of Hyundais, I would like to get one of those tarmac work Hyundais. So those seem pretty expensive, but don't know who the market is, but apparently they have a market. If those Hyundais get a bit cheaper, I'm probably gonna get one. Kia Stinger GT, nice looking car. Yes, it's gonna be similar to like the Bentley Continental GT or the Panamera. So these are not like proper sports cars, but more for like durability and like endurance. That's the word I was looking for. Not too much to say, like this is a factory fresh, one of my favorite lines, just like clean looking cars, full headlight and backlight details. This is sweet. For the first version, this is a great, oh shit, excuse me, this is a great intro. Number 20, oh my god, why is it so dirty? Number 20, I already started to take it out already, but this is a Mercedes-Benz A-Class, not the coolest looking car in the world in real life, but pretty nice replica. This is from the Nightburner series, but it also has like full front detail. Oh, look how they massacred the paint on this one. This is bad. I was thinking I might consider getting a new one, but I don't really care. It's a $1 car. I couldn't care less. Like, these are not gonna be like collected by me personally speaking anyway, so I don't really care one way or another, but this is bad. If this is painted properly, it's gonna look really cool. There is a Mercedes-Benz logo here, but it's not printed, which is a bit of a shame. Yeah, not too much to say. Not the coolest looking car in real life, but a nice replica, but this is big. Even for a $1 car, this is BS. And last but not least, this is the Formula E Gen 2 car. This one actually has like an actual name of the car, but I don't really know. But basically, it's a Formula E car, right? It's made by Spark and Dallara, and I'm pretty sure Dallara is obviously the Italian company that does a lot of like Formula. They do Formula E, they do Indy 500. I think they might do Formula 1. I don't think so. Maybe not. I do have the black and blue one. Actually, give me a second. It's here somewhere. European car section. Where are you? Where art thou? Yes. This is the first variation of the car in this color. Yeah, it's a nice looking car. But like, for instance, I was talking about Dallara, right? Give me just another few more seconds. Damn it. Dallara. Maybe right here. Yes. So Dallara, for instance, the Hot Wheels casting Indy 500 oval is made by Dallara in real life. So this is a Dallara chassis, and so is the Ferrari 333 SP. It's made by Dallara for Ferrari, so you can consider it a Ferrari car. I could consider it a Dallara car. I mean technically it's both. So yeah, it's cool. But in this case, Dallara is an Italian company. I think Spark is French. So like if you want to categorize as a French car, Italian car, whatever, probably more Italian, right? Well, that would be my personal opinion because I consider like the body, the chassis of the car more important than like the electronics and stuff. But come on. All right, and I probably do prefer the black one at the end of the day because this is probably the more iconic version of the car. But the purple recolor is really nice as well. The black is a good color, but you can see like the metal flake on this is really good looking. And as far as like, because of the way those Formula E cars and just general like more F1 style open wheel cars are concerned, it doesn't have a lot of like front and back covering, so you pretty much can do like a full deco in this. It's pretty much the full deco. You see the front, you see the sides, Julius Baer, you see Allianz, DHL, so very German centric. You can see ABB. All of these sponsorships. This is a great pair. This is actually one of the ones I considered getting. It's like, do I want to get it? But yes, I do, and I've definitely liked it a lot more out of the package. It looks great next to the first release of the Formula E car. I know a lot of people just don't like Formula E just because it's electric, which I think is just stupid, but I don't really follow any sports event, honestly. I don't really follow any racing events, but I've watched like some Formula One highlights, but I've honestly watched a lot more Formula E highlights just because it's so aggressive. Just as far as someone who doesn't really care about it, just a lot more entertaining to see the crashes and cars breaking apart. It's really nice to see like the aggressiveness of the chaos. I think it's really fun. But yeah, that's it for this video, and I'm gonna try to see if I can even possibly fit every single car I've opened up here. I'm just gonna put this one. I'm gonna put the Subaru here, even though I technically didn't open. This is technically not one of the 21. Let's see, Japanese cars. So Nissan and the Datsun are gonna be side by side. I'm obsessive compulsive, you can't tell. I need to organize everything in a strict manner. Mazda and the Honda can go here. Just keep it stuck between two cars so it does not fall over too easily. Now also the European cars are done. The Asian cars are done. Oh, nope. Yeah, it's fine. So the European cars can go here, I guess. Mercedes-Benz. Now time for the American cars. I'm gonna start with race cars. Classic race cars. And speaking of more classic cars, Chevy, yeah, more flames, and it's a Jeep. And now we get to like, so this is my ideas, you know, let's just get more and more fantasy, more and more unrealistic. So the Jeep and the tuned Impala goes here. Let's see, you're based on a real car. You might as well be based on a real car. You're closer to a real car than the, well, see, this is when it gets weird, but that's fine. You, and you. And one car I did not open up will be this one. I'll probably open it up someday, but I'm not really in a hurry to do so. Yeah, so 21 cars for the mail-in, and I think it's worth it. You know, there's a few cars I probably I don't really like that much. This will be one. This will be one. And that might be it, honestly. I don't really need the Mazda, I don't really need the Nova, but everything else I'm pretty cool with. I do love getting the Kia Stinger, the Formula E car, Mercedes-Benz, although that is unforgivable. The Nissan Gtr is nice. Yeah, I think overall I'm having like $5 for the car itself and maybe a couple of dollars for the for the padded envelope, unfortunately, because I'm actually just sending in mainline cards. The backing cards are not going to be able to fit inside an envelope, so maybe I don't really know how those things go shipping, but I feel like a couple dollars should cover that, right? Overall, yeah, I think it's worth it. But next time, if I ever bother doing another mail-in, I probably just want to be even more, have a bit more scrutiny in the cars that I'm gonna get, just to make sure every single one of the cars I would have gotten otherwise, so it doesn't feel like I'm paying, like $30 for just one premium car, which is not that worth it in my opinion. But that is all for today. This is a very long video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.